Hello and happy holidays. My name is Dr. Teresa Wagner. I'm an assistant professor in the School of Health Professions in the Department of Lifestyle Health Sciences. I'm also a clinical executive for SaferCare Texas, addressing health literacy. Today we're going to learn how to deck the halls with Boughs of Healthy. So when I developed this webinar, I wanted to talk to you about my wish list of life's choices for optimal health. And in fact, I align my choices with lifestyle medicine. And the tenets of lifestyle medicine include eating a diet rich in plants, because food is medicine. And if we eat more plants, we'll be getting the nutrients that we need to stay healthy and well. So eat more plants for meals and snacks. Quality sleep. We need to follow directions for having good sleep hygiene. So I'll talk more about that, but at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Social connectedness is important in staying healthy and well. And we often don't emphasize this enough, but we need intellectually and socially stimulating activities in our life. Regular physical activity is also important in your overall life choices for optimal health. And we want to be active most days, but a total of at least 150 minutes per week, and 300 minutes is most optimal. You also want to mind your stress. We know that stress can play a role in health, and it can be positive in terms of motivating us to be productive in our lives, but it can also be negative in terms of how we react to stress and the types of behaviors that we put in our life to deal with stress. So we'll talk about some positive life behaviors for minding your stress. And then avoiding risky substances. Preventing or stopping smoking and other substance use, or limiting alcohol, are all important for an overall picture of life choices for optimal health. So how do we translate this into the holidays, and where do we put this, these Boughs of healthy that we're going to incorporate into our lives? And the first is that we want to put a lot of color on our holiday plate. And you'll notice that the plate that I have pictured here really doesn't emphasize the turkey. It emphasizes the colorful fruits and vegetables. So prepare plenty of dishes that include fruits and vegetables, which add flavor, color, and nutrients to your holiday favorites. You see here there's homemade cranberry sauce, roasted sweet potatoes, and steamed green beans and carrots. I found a really good recipe for the green beans and carrots on food.com, and you can just search for that on your computer, but it uses olive oil and black pepper, so that should make it really yummy. But fruits and vegetables help you feel full because they have lots of fiber, which is important in keeping our digestive tract healthy and well. And it helps you avoid the temptation to overeat because that fiber helps you feel full before you have eaten too much, which also helps you to cut back on excess calories, sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars from the more calorie-laden traditional holiday foods and beverages. So what about sweets? We all love sweets around the holidays. So if you aim for sweets that include fruit, whole grains, nuts, and fiber, then you will still be getting good nutrition from your sweets, but at the same time satisfying that sweet tooth that you're looking to find that satisfaction for. So just 1 or 2 small cookies, a small piece of cake, pie, or candy, sweet potato or pumpkin pie are great nutrient-dense pies that you can choose around the holidays. Here's some websites for plant-based desserts: fabfitfun.com, lifestylemedicine.org, and eatright.org all have some good fruit, grain, and nut recipes for sweets. So that leads us into the New Year's resolutions, because of course we don't only want to be healthy during the holidays, but we want to be healthy all year long. So overall, a plant-based diet doesn't mean that you have to totally exclude meat and animal products, but we want to eat plenty of fresh fruit and non-starchy vegetables every day. Focus on plant foods to increase fiber, vitamins, and minerals, as I mentioned before. And so what does that look like? adding more vegetables into your daily diet. Many of us don't really think of vegetables first thing when we think about eating. We think about meat and starch. Well, we really need to be emphasizing, and if you think about dividing your plate in half of it should be fruits and vegetables, 1/4 of it should be starch, and then 1/4 of it meat or a meat substitute or plant-based meat substitute, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So really half your plate should be fruits and vegetables, and many times we don't have any on our plate. So focus on the green leafy vegetables, again, putting that color, decking those halls. Include fruits, especially berries, eat nuts, beans, and whole grains, lots of fiber there. Eat lean meats, fish and poultry, which luckily, especially white meat of turkey falls in that category. Focus on plant-based proteins and fish the rest of the year, and choose healthy fats such as vegetable oil, nuts, and avocado. So here's some examples of plant-based proteins that if you are following a vegetarian or plant-based diet during the holidays, you can certainly use instead of turkey. But all year long, you can incorporate more plants into your diet by using these plant-based protein substitutes. So rice and black beans, hummus and bread, corn and black-eyed peas, bulgur and lentils, tofu and rice, corn and lima beans, tortillas with refried beans, and pea soup and bread. So you can also, if you want to incorporate more plant-based foods into your diet with just your normal foods that you eat on a day-to-day basis, you can prepare foods that typically contain meat or poultry in a vegetarian manner just by taking out the meat and maybe adding more vegetables. So like maybe spaghetti sauce or something like that, adding, some broccoli or other types of vegetables to provide more of that sustenance of that meal versus having meat in the sauce. This helps increase your vegetable intake and reduce saturated fat and cholesterol that's often found in animal products. So silent night. You want to get high quality sleep so you're not falling asleep at work or at school like this young man. So minding your sleep hygiene. So we know that a lack of or poor quality sleep can lead to a strained immune system, and right now we really want to stay healthy and well. It can help you to identify positive coping behaviors for your stress, but also to improve your sleep. So to improve sleep, be consistent, go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time, even on the weekends. I do this myself. I think my body is just programmed to do that. Create regular bedtime rituals. So be sure that you're doing things that will help bring you down or calm you down before you go to bed, like taking a warm bath, reading, or listening to music. Make sure your bedroom is quiet, dark, relaxing at a comfortable temperature for sleep. Remove your electronic devices. I think that's probably, at least for young people, the #1 mistake that we're making in terms of not getting high quality sleep right now, but taking the TV, computer, smartphones out of the bedroom so that you can just focus on getting a good night's sleep. Other tips: avoid large meals, caffeine and alcohol right before bed. Those all seem to impact the quality of your sleep because your body's busy dealing with those substances instead of being able to just rest. And then get some exercise. Being physically active during the day can help you fall asleep more easily at night. And I know this to be true for myself and use that consistently for my stress reduction, for overall health, and for getting good sleep. So I'll be home for Christmas. So whether you're going home or you're staying home, which a lot of us will be this year, we still need to be socially connected. And especially this year, it's going to be a challenge because we know that it's essential to emotional resiliency to be connected to our family and friends and our communities, but because it improves our overall health. And we've all found ways to cope with that, at least for now, by using Zoom and other techniques to stay connected, but FaceTime, phone calls, texting. But some ways to share the holidays would be to make holiday videos where you can share a message, song, story, music, memory, sentiment, or a joke. Be creative or have competition, like who can do the best Christmas video, and send those around. Share a meal, and it doesn't have to be in person. You can video conference to share a meal, talk about your different recipes, and show each other or swap recipes and take turns cooking them and sampling them and telling the other person what you think. You can also have a socially distanced meal with your neighbors or your family. If you still want to go see your family, maybe you wouldn't be able to stay with them, but have a meal outside that is socially distanced. Send gifts and cards. Sending a small card or gift lets people know you're thinking about them, even if you can't be there in person. Take a walk, whether it's in person or virtually. You can FaceTime and walk together. I often talk on the phone to my sister while I'm walking my dog. But even if you're gonna be able to be with family, and you can always socially distance and walk farther apart or wear a mask. Run, run, Rudolph. So you want to be sure that you keep the inevitable indulgences in check by staying active over the holidays. So that's where we talked about getting a physical activity. Pretty much every day is recommended, but at least 150 minutes each week of cardio, which just means getting your heart rate up. Or 300 minutes is the goal. So that's about 2.5 hours minimum, 5 hours as the goal. You also want to do 2 sessions of strength training. If you don't have weights at home, you can use things at home. I'm sure you can look that up on the internet, such as canned goods, different things that weigh more than what things that you typically hold up. I actually ordered a whole set of weights. I know that they are probably scarce right now, but hopefully have come back in stock since the summer. Your kids need to be physically active, 60 minutes or more of physical activity each day. That's for 6 to 17-year-olds. And then children 3 to 5 also need to just have some active play throughout their day. So for cardio aerobic, some things that you might do: brisk walking, biking, running, jumping rope, dancing, or yard work. I know yard work is my 82-year-old mother's favorite activity to get outside and get some active time in her day. Muscle strengthening, like I mentioned, free weights, crunches, elastic bands, squats, whatever you have available to you at home. So peace on earth, stress relief and stress control is what we want to achieve. So recognize if you have negative stress responses and identify positive coping mechanisms and use reduction techniques for improved well-being. Some of those might include a positive attitude, just changing the way that you think about things. It's a lot of the times it's how we react to something that makes it more stressful. And if we keep a positive attitude, we can, I often find lessons in my most stressful moments. So turning them into ways to learn about something or to be challenged by something, and then celebrate the fact that you overcame that challenge. Except that there are events you cannot control, which kind of lets you not spend the amount of energy that you would on something typically when you're reacting in a negative way. And learn to relax. Purposeful relaxation, such as deep breathing, muscle relaxation, and meditation is essential in training your body to relax. And then find your stressors and effective ways to cope with them. Stress comes from, like I said, how you respond to stressful events. So turn it into a positive or a learning experience. So don't get run over by a reindeer. And we all know that famous song, and we know that Grandma got run over by a reindeer because she had had a little too much eggnog. So we want to avoid risky substances. And this holiday season, give yourself the gift of health by avoiding the dangers of addictive substances. Positive behaviors that improve health include cessation of tobacco or other substance use and limiting the intake of alcohol. So what does that mean? How much alcohol does that mean we can actually have. And so a glass or two of red wine is actually thought to have health benefits cardiovascularly, but that doesn't mean that you should start drinking if you don't already drink. It just means that it's okay to have a glass or two of red wine on occasion. Excess alcohol actually has negative consequences like we talked about, which can include slow or impaired brain cell communication, which means that especially driving, your reaction time might be reduced, fuzzy memory or drowsiness, long-term changes in balance, memory, and emotions, especially if you're drinking on a consistent basis, can contribute to falls and fall-related injuries, especially in the elderly, but also when we're young, and can interact negatively with many medications, also have life-threatening consequences, such as driving a motor vehicle and having an accident. So what does that mean? Well, the limit for men is about 2 drinks per day and women about 1 drink per day. And how much is a drink? Well, for beer and malt beverages, it's about 12 ounces, which is a bottle of beer, not one of the huge bottles, and it's not a large pour at a restaurant or bar. It's at 1.5 ounces of liquor mixed in a drink, 5 ounces of wine. Generally, the wine pour at a restaurant is, the small pour is 5 ounces, the larger pour is 8 ounces. And then a wine cooler, which is diluted with other beverages, is about 12 ounces. So people often ask if I can have 1 drink per day, does that mean that, you know, for the holidays, I can save up my 1 drink for the whole month or the whole week and have all my drinks in that one day? And that answer to that is no, because then you will be overserved on that day. But it also is not healthy to have that much alcohol at once. So having to stick to that rule of 1 to 2 drinks per day, spread it out throughout the day or the evening or the lunch, whatever meal you happen to be having that alcohol with. So I wish you all a happy, healthy holidays and a healthy new year, knowing these tips and the ways that you can incorporate these lifestyle health changes and or continue them if you're already doing them to improve your health. But we know the first step to any New Year's resolution or changes that we want to make in our life is to gather the materials. So make sure you have your workout clothes, your workout equipment, your healthy fruits and vegetables in your house to be able to incorporate those into your meals, your stress reduction music, your sleep habits in check, all of those things that come together, but just make sure you have what you need to achieve that. Make health a daily life choice. So incorporate it into your everyday, exercising every day, eating fruits and vegetables every day, just gradually over time, making sure that you check off that list of, am I, you know, doing my sleep habits? Am I managing my stress? Am I avoiding risky substances? And then lastly, maintain your goals. So once you have achieved those goals, maintain them or keep that list going and keep checking it off. So you can check out the Department of Lifestyle Health Sciences on the School of Health Professions website, and for more information on the role of health coaches that can help you to achieve those goals, or how to become a health coach yourself in our 1-year Master of Science in Lifestyle Health program. Again, I'm Dr. Teresa Wagner, and happy holidays.